Welcome back to The Power of the Tongue. On Monday, we talked about consequences, specifically the ones that follow our words long after we have stopped talking. We sat with the sobering truth that every word we speak is a seed, and we do not get to choose the harvest once it is in the ground. We only get to choose what we plant. And we closed with this reminder: words without work are just noise, and noise produces nothing. If you have been with us since episode 1, I want you to take a moment and appreciate how far we have come. We have covered anger, incomplete information, hurting people, dishonoring God, the wisdom of silence, minding our business, and the weight of consequences. And if we stopped right here, this series would feel a little heavy, because every episode up to this point has been about when not to speak. But today we turn the corner, because the tongue was never designed only for restraint. It was designed for something far greater. And today we are talking about what happens when the tongue is used exactly the way God intended it. Today we're talking about the tongue that builds up. Here's what the word says. Proverbs 15 verse 4 says, "The soothing tongue is a tree of life, but a perverse tongue crushes the spirit." A tree of life. Think about everything that image carries. A tree provides shade on a scorching day. It bears fruit that nourishes. Its roots hold the ground together. Its branches offer shelter. A tree of life does not just survive, it sustains everything around it. That is what your tongue is capable of. When you speak words of encouragement into someone who is struggling, you are shade on a scorching day. When you affirm someone who has forgotten their worth, you are fruit that nourishes a hungry soul. When you speak truth in love to someone who is losing their footing, you are roots holding the ground together beneath their feet. Your words have the capacity to be a tree of life for someone today. The question is whether you will open your mouth and let them be. Then Proverbs 25 verse 11 says, "A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in settings of silver." This verse is about precision. It is not just about saying something positive, it is about saying the right thing at the right moment. Apples of gold in settings of silver. That is not just beautiful, that is rare. That is intentional. That is someone who paid attention to what the person in front of them actually needed and delivered it with care. We live in a world of careless words, words thrown out without thought, without timing, without consideration for where someone actually is. But a word fitly spoken, the perfectly timed word of comfort, clarity, or courage, that is worth more than gold. And the people in your life are waiting for someone to care enough to give it to them. And Ephesians 4:29 ties it all together. Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. Paul gives us the clearest standard in all of Scripture for how to use our words. Not just, is this true? Not just, is this kind? But, is this helpful for building someone up according to their needs? That is deeply intentional speech. It requires you to slow down enough to actually see the person in front of you, to understand where they are, to recognize what they are carrying, and then to open your mouth and give them exactly what they need to take the next step. And notice how Paul ends that verse, that it may benefit those who listen. Your words should leave people better than you found them, every single time. Here's what I want you to carry into the rest of your day. You have been given one of the most powerful instruments in all of creation, and it is sitting right in your mouth. You have the ability to speak life into a dead situation, to restore someone's confidence with a single sentence, to change the entire trajectory of someone's day, maybe even their life, with words chosen carefully and delivered with love. Do not waste that. Find someone today who needs a tree of life, and be one. The Power of the Tongue, Episode 9. Until next time, stay strong in faith. God's got you.